What's up, America? This is Kim and Neil with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to do a video about traveling with, especially traveling on an airplane with your CCW. So I recently dragged Neil to California to see my family, and we flew 2 different airlines and we had different experiences. We actually recorded us checking in the firearm when we first got there, so we're going to play that and tell you a little bit more about our experience.
A couple things. One, I wanted to make it as natural and real as possible, so I didn't like roll in there with the camera and everything and make it weird. So what I did is I took a lanyard that holds a cell phone, so here we might be a little wonky. Understand, I'm trying to do this for you guys, so the video that you're going to watch is vertical format, right? Not landscape. So just bear with that because it's hanging on basically on my neck, so they don't know that I'm recording. My editing guy is going to do his magic and we'll see what happens, but it should be pretty cool. We're going to blur a couple things out to make it you know, protect the identity of the innocent. Other than that, like Kim said, we ended up with 2 different airlines. And oh, by the way, just to be clear on this, I did not go in there like as law enforcement. I went there strictly. I think if I recall from watching the video, they even asked me if you ever traveled with a gun before, and I said no. So I try to make it as neutral as possible, so it would be like an experience for a new person carrying a firearm onto an airline, so you could really see the raw what happens. All right, so here's what we did. We ended up, this is a super cheap box. You can still see that I left the airline tag the way the last airline did it. We'll discuss that here in a second. This is just a metal box. It actually came free with a metal gun cabinet. By the way, I know it's sunny and not sunny. It's outside. It's what, 210 today?
Pretty much. 2,000%
humidity. So our studio, by the way, side note, is almost complete. So watch out for that. But anyway, stupid metal box, real basics. Got a 3 number combination.
Code, yeah.
No big deal. And then so basically you'll see in the film, we came up to the counter. I explained that we're going to declare a firearm. Do you remember the first airline?
Yes, it was American Airlines.
It was American Airlines. Not that it matters, but I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, every airline you fly, your experience is going to be different. I mean, we only flew 2 and they were very, very different. So,
and probably even who's working that day makes a big difference in what's going to happen. And this box too, before we go on, was really helpful during the whole vacation. Like, we used it to lock our firearm up if you needed to.
This is a pretty typical. Show them there's a cable with it.
Comes with the cable.
Yeah, that cable is actually really useful for many things. I always tell people don't leave guns in cars and so forth, and that's a whole nother animal. But this also comes in very handy when you're traveling. So originally, what I did is I had this cable that runs through the box, also attached to the luggage. And then I stuck this into the like an outer pouch. Okay, the first airline said don't do that. They just wanted the cable off for whatever reason. I don't really care. So what you'll see in the film or the video here, both airlines, as they should, ask you to open the box, and then they just ask you, is it loaded? I mean, most of them probably have no idea what's
know how to check.
Yeah, and obviously we're not touching them or taking them out or anything. We just say yes, they're unloaded. Before we went in there, how did we prep the gun and everything? How did we do this?
We had it unloaded inside of the case, and we had the ammo and in the original box also inside the case. And also we had the magazines unloaded in the box as well. Yeah, so
in the box, just to be clear, the cardboard box it comes in, no, they're not going to check what, like, well, this says Hornady, but these are, V-Crown, like, they don't care. It's just an ammo box, period. So we did some research, and overall through TSA, you can carry 4 pounds of ammo. Individual airlines may have difference. I just happened to look up United's. They're on the same page with 4 pounds, so that's quite a bit of ammo, I'd say. We just had 1 box for 1 magazine for my concealed carry, so that was pretty straightforward. Oddly enough, the first airline told me to take the box of ammo, which made no sense to me whatsoever, but whatever, out of the box and just put it in my luggage, which I thought was kind of weird. So then we're just locking up an empty magazine and the firearm. I didn't get that, but whatever. Let's go. Alrighty. See ya. What do you need? ID?
Your ID, yeah.
I have a firearm to declare as well.
Okay. You said you have a firearm?
Yeah.
Are you guys military?
No.
Is it a handgun or rifle?
Handgun.
Handgun.
Yep.
Go ahead and place that one up here.
Okay.
Go ahead and open it up.
Yep.
Have you checked one before?
No.
So we don't need this attached to here. It's better off in the body of the bag.
Okay.
And then is ammo separated from
Yeah, everything's separated.
unloaded, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll have you sign this slip when you get a chance.
You want this open?
Yep. You gotta put this slip in there after I sign it. You sign that. So Anna's gonna be doing that.
Okay.
I don't understand it, but
I don't care. Oh. What? All right.
so then just sign at the bottom and add that in there.
And then just stick this back in the bag? All right.
Okay, what's your first step?
So I've stapled everyone's boarding passes with the first foot on top, second foot on the bottom. What's your first name?
Kimberly. Okay, we can stop there.
It's on there. Perfect.
And I did get our bail. I put it on yesterday online.
Thank you.
And you know, you'll have to pick this bag up in our baggage service office once you get to Orange County.
Okay.
They'll just ask for your ID.
Okay, perfect. Then we land in the land of the unfree.
California.
Yeah. So how do we get our
And Neil went up to the check, you know, the lost luggage area. He went up there to get his luggage, and they wouldn't give it to him because actually the tickets were in my name. So I had to go, even though Neil's name was on the actual ticket for the firearm, I had to go up and show my ID to get it.
Oh, one other thing. There's a slip of paper. One airline put them in the box, and one of them didn't. So just FYI, like a little ticket that says you have a firearm. Anyway. All right, so then we're in the land of the unfree, and we're going to finally go back to freedom, right? And so we're leaving on United, right? Check-in process, fairly the same. I didn't record that one. It's basically the same deal. Again, you're going straight directly to the check-in counter.
Not TSA.
Nowhere near.
That's a felony.
Yep. So we go to the check-in counter, as always, declare that we have a firearm. Oh, by the way, if you like normally use those curbside check-ins, you can't use that. You have to go in the actual airport, at least from all the experiences I've had. Anyhow, we tell them everything, open up the box, show it to them. This time I just took the ammo and kept it in the luggage. Nobody cared. Okay, that was it. And off we went. Now these guys, I just left it on here so you could see. By the way, I always recommend you write your name and phone number and stuff. Obviously, this is covering this up, and it says property of the department I work with, because it was my actual service weapon that I took with me. But anyway, always keep your contact information on this box, just in case they need to get a hold of you for whatever reason. But these guys at United, instead of putting in the box, they taped this declaration of firearms on the box. American didn't do that. They put it in the box. Anyway, so the most unique thing about actually retrieving from United once we landed back to where we live, I'll let you go for that story.
Yeah, we actually got held up because we were traveling with a baby, and it took us a little longer to get back to baggage claim. And when we got there, our bags were just sitting out in the middle of the hallway. No one checked our ID. We just took our bags and left. So literally anyone could have went and taken our bags.
Everything, including my firearm. So thought that was totally crazy, but that's again to be expected when you fly. You're going to have different experiences, and sometimes it's even happened where it comes off the carousel with all the other luggage. So your mileage will vary, but ideally the way it should work is you're supposed to go to that office,
Show
your ID, yeah, and then they give you your stuff. Now, one thing that's really important is to understand reciprocity, and reciprocity is your state that will allow the other state you're going to allows you to carry your firearm. But what do we really need to understand about that?
That you're going to follow their laws. So you need to know what their laws are and make sure you're following them. You're not going by your state's laws.
So obviously, if I was just a concealed carry license holder, none of that could have happened. I could not take the gun to that state. The gun itself is illegal. I couldn't carry it anywhere. So obviously understand that. So the other thing is, if in that state they have different rules, like a neighboring state of ours, you cannot drive through a school zone, right? Where you can in our state. You can't drive through a school zone when you're in their state, right? In our state, we have to disclose that we're carrying, which I don't understand why that's a big deal, but we do. In that state, you don't. So when you're there, you don't.
You can't consume any alcohol here. In some states, you can consume some alcohol,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
But either way, so if
you can't drive through a school zone, but you can consume alcohol with your firearm.
You can have a beer and carry your firearm.
All right. All right, back to the box and the old cable. We are in a place that is foreign to us, meaning it's not my house. I don't live there. I don't know the scenario. Someone might have a key. We stayed at
Airbnb.
Thank you. So basically other people's houses and so forth. There was one time we went to a place.
And they had metal detectors, and you can't carry.
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone up there as law enforcement, but typically what they do is they then take you to their little police department and they let you lock your stuff up and do the same thing. I've been to a couple amusement parks that are like that. To me, it makes no sense. If I can't have my gun in there, what's the point? So that was the one and only time I left it at home. And so here's the deal. The bed itself is pretty sturdy where we were at, okay? So I take the cable, I put it around the frame and the post of the bed so you couldn't like pick it up or move it or anything like that. And then it's cabled inside the box. And then the box is then hidden underneath, in this case, happened to be underneath the dresser. So you'd have to do quite a bit of, effort to try to even find it and then cut it loose and all that.
Surely could, but you're also you're just doing the best that you possibly can.
Yeah, there's no perfect scenario there. So that's at least one way that you kind of keep your stuff safe and understand. I mean, you might be in a hotel, obviously same scenario. So we're trying to keep that as discreet and secured as possible so that...
we also used it when we went swimming, because obviously we don't want to just leave it out and about when...
Yep. Sometimes stuff happens on vacation. I happened to go to the beach with my little kid, and I had my firearm on me, and I was basically just wearing my shorts and ended up going in the water for a little bit and got my gun wet, and it is what it is. So yeah, the things you got to deal with, I guess.
So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I know a lot of people ask us about traveling with your concealed carry, so hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a like, a share, a comment. Tell us about your experience. I'm sure other people would enjoy hearing about your experience traveling with it. And you can find us here on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram. We put all of our premium content on Patreon. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.